to Still Driven Happy Hour.
Welcome to episode 215 of the Still Driven Happy Hour. This is your host, Mason. On the move tonight, we got Hayes. Holla.
Yes, sir. We did it.
Hayes.
Good Friday.
It's Good Friday. Did you have a good Friday?
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was good. It just started weird. So I had breakfast with a friend right next to Mason's house. Literally, you could see his driveway from there. And I'm sitting, and this old dude comes in there, and there wasn't a ton of seats because it's really busy. And I just looked at my buddy and was like, "Hey, let's go outside." And so we go sit on those tables outside Mama's Java. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
She muted me.
Mm.
All right, so this old lady walks by and she's walking to her car, and she's in the drive-through, like walking to her car, passes out face first into the concrete. So my eyes get really big, and Doug's like, and I run over to her, and by the time I get over there, she's kind of coming to and real woozy. I'm like patting her on the back. It's really old lady. And then she turns her head over, and just face is covered in blood. She's got a giant gash right here on her nose, and it's her nose is obviously broken. It's like, I was like, but I guess she was in shock. So I'm like patting her back, and I'm like, "Hey, what's your name?" "My name is Pamela." I'm like, "Hey, Miss Pam, are you okay? Like, what happened?" She's like, "I don't know what happened." I'm like, "Well, you're fainted and you're bleeding." And right then, like, I'm covered in her, like, her blood's all over my hands. And all of a sudden, hands come over me, and like, I've got all of a sudden paper towels and napkins, and I'm trying to clean up her blood and then trying to get all over my hands. She's like, "Oh, I think I'll just stand up and go home." I was like, "No, Miss Pam, that's not gonna work. You are hurt." So she sees the blood and everything. I call 911, and then two other ladies come over there. Ambulance shows up within 3 or 4 minutes because it's right next to Mason's house where the fire department is. And then they took over. But man, that's how my morning started. It was a really weird start.
Yeah, I'd say.
Very weird
But
start
goodness,
to the day.
the terrible communication that Hayes started out when he texted me was, "Hey, did you hear an ambulance just pass your house?" And
I
I'm
did.
like, "No, I don't think so. What's wrong?" He's like, "Oh, well, one did pass your house because I just called for it." And I'm like, "Okay, more information. Like, is somebody like, obviously somebody was hurt, but I didn't know who it was. Like, if it was one of your children or."
I'm sorry, I should have explained. That was terrible communication.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you texted very quickly, so it wasn't like I was sitting there for a long time. But yeah, the first two texts could have provided some, I don't know,
Some detail.
reprieve. Yeah.
But I think I did tell you this. If there's what I learned, man, and look, you're a parent. I'm a parent. I've been a parent a long time. I hate poop. Like, I hate poop. Not only do I hate my poop, I hate anyone's poop. And I especially hate when somebody's poop is on me. Even more so if it's not my own poop, right? But I learned there's something even to that, and that's having someone else's blood on you. That sucks. I have never had anyone else's blood on me, I don't think. And it was
Strangers for sure.
a stranger's blood all over me. So I go into Mama's Java, free shout out, great people, good coffee. And I was like, "Hey, do y'all have some hand sanitizer? I'm going to use a lot of it." And because it's not happening in their driveway, like they can't get into the drive-through because this lady is laying Like, I'm gonna use a lot of this hand sanitizer. That's fine. Thank you so much for doing that with that. I was like, you don't have anything to thank me for. Like, what am I gonna do? Let her sitting there?
Yeah, seriously.
Anywho, but I got to thinking about it. I think that's the first time I've ever had to call 911. 45 years. I don't think I've ever
Wow.
had to.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Have you?
I don't think I've ever had to.
Yeah.
No, okay. I've had to call 911 because when Elliot was less than he was probably a year old, he called 911 on my phone in the car. And it hung up. But I saw it because it connected to my car and he had hung up. So I grabbed the phone and I called him back real quick. And I was like, hey, my son we're in the car. He had my phone. He called 911. And they were like, oh, okay, no worries. Thanks for calling us back. Yeah, that's the only time I've ever had to call 911.
Yeah. It was intense.
You called it that time.
It was an intense morning.
Yeah. Haley just walked in the kitchen. She said she made a reference to our younger son, but she had to call 911 for that one. That was quite terrifying. So yes, but I wasn't on the phone with them. So I was running through our neighborhood trying to figure out.
Well, here's what I learned about your neighborhood, man. If you were ever going to have to call 911, I mean, they were there within 3 or 4 minutes.
They get there pretty quick.
I mean, I'm still on the phone with the dispatch guy and they're pulling in. Like, I hear the ambulance fire up right next to your house and then drive a block.
Well,
it's crazy.
They changed. So it used to be on the other end of downtown. Now I think they wouldn't have passed my house. So they come from the other side now of Mama's Java. Normally speaking, because there's a new firehouse over there that's like a paid fire department.
Oh,
well, so the volunteer one is not there anymore. Yeah,
whatever's close to your house, I saw.
Huh?
They're up. Interesting. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Great. So free shout out to the Nolensville PD and Miss Pam. That was an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Never. Anyway, Good Friday. That's how it started. How about you?
Good Friday. It was pretty good. Pretty light day at work.
You had to work today.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go into the office, but I ended up working from home because last night we had 7 sleep interruptions between the 2 kids. So we were close to. No, I'm sorry. I think it was 6. But yeah, we were pretty close to 1 an hour. So yeah, if we would have done the podcast,
sounds like how it's been for me as well.
Yeah. So Elliot's just totally lost his voice. He does not feel bad, but he had I'll say he had a fever, but not really. He didn't really have a fever. But yeah, he feels fine. He just like lost his voice. He's got this cough, a real dry cough. So he's waking up and like when he wakes up in the middle of the night, he literally can't talk until he gets water, which I think scared him last night a lot. He's like, I can't die. Like it was very trying for him, and his voice is just kind of gone throughout the day. So it's real weird because usually we know because he's lethargic. Like he's very easy to read in that aspect, but he's been outside playing and feeling good today. So
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, so yeah, I luckily have a great team at work, and I texted him. I was like, "Hey, we're not gonna make it in today. Like, I'm working from home," and yeah, I'm sure it was a pretty light day for people going in the office too. So, but yeah, it was a good day. Yesterday, so this is a bit of history. I guess the only live pod we've done not at somebody's house, at Mission Cigar. Their new, I got to go by the new store. It's literally like in downtown Franklin.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So they have 2 locations now.
This is their new one. It's not open yet, so they're still doing it. I got a little early tour But I think this is one that we're definitely going to have to stop in. Maybe go for the grand opening when they establish when that is.
That'd be fun. I'm in. I'd love that.
But so I was talking to my uncle, and it's really cool. So he's not doing the construction, but he's still over it. He's not like, so there's two groups of Christian men that are coming together to open this second location. And one of them, I guess, owns this house in downtown Franklin and heard about Mission Cigar in Spring Hill and was like, hey, we love this idea. Like, we are very like-minded. We have this house. Would you guys like open a shop in downtown Franklin? So obviously they were like, yeah. And so that's like two of them are coming together. But one of the guys, did you ever go to the prayer night for Mike Mitchell? Did you go to that?
Oh yeah.
With when they were speaking in tongues and stuff?
Yes, I do remember that.
So I walk up and my uncle's like, I think he was reading the Bible or something, smoking a cigar. It was like 11 a.m. or something. But he's sitting on the back porch and the house is still under construction. And I looked at him and I was like, hey, is that guy named Greg? And it was the guy who led that prayer night.
Oh.
Is like business partners with my uncle now. He's like the
other
other
side.
side.
Small world.
And I was like, you're Greg Tipton, right? And he was like, yeah, who are you? And I was like, well, I know Steve Johnson. He's like, oh, okay. And I was like, I was really close with Mike. And he was like, yeah, I prayed with Mike a lot. And it's like, wow, what a small world.
Wow.
But it was really cool. I guess that's our more than sneakers moment. But yeah, and it got me thinking when I was taking the tour of the house. One, it'll probably be the last time my son, Elliot, or Wyatt steps foot in that house for 21 years at least.
Wow.
Because it's illegal for them to be in a cigar bar. So they got to walk through it, which is kind of funny. And then my uncle was telling me, so this one's a house as opposed to the other one was just like a bar. And they're going to have like 3 different rooms and they're going to be themed after famous people who smoke cigars. So who's your favorite cigar smoker? I'm not too well versed in this arena, but
I'm sorry, bad podcasting. I'm thinking. I'm Michael Jordan, right?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think
it's
they're
got to
going to have a Michael Jordan room, but maybe we could convince them.
Why wouldn't they have a Michael Jordan room?
That'd be a pretty dope room.
He's a very famous, the most famous. But I bet it's going to be like,
you think like Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill,
That's
FDR, right? Wasn't FDR a cigar guy?
I don't know. I tried to keep a straight face, but what about a Fidel Castro room? Maybe we should pitch him. We should go.
It's not a bad idea.
And have him on the podcast and pitch him ideas of the room themes. He mentioned I forget the other one that he.
Why wouldn't he have a Michael Jordan room and like do basically a sports theme? He's missing out if he does not do that.
I want to say he mentioned Sigmund Freud. That seems weird though, right?
Winston Churchill, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Castro, MJ is like 3rd or 4th on this list.
Yeah.
Groucho Marx, JFK, Jack Nicholson, Mark Twain. Babe Ruth was in my head.
Okay, the top 100 cigar smokers of the 20th century.
He should do
Winston
a gangster
Churchill
room, like Al Capone.
Al Capone would be dope.
Oh yeah, like do an old.
Would it be like too far if you put like Al Capone and JFK in the same room?
No, that could check out.
Feels right. Hayes, who is Milton Berle?
He's an actor from the 60s and 70s.
Here's one that didn't age well. Number 7 on the list. You think they'll have a Bill Cosby room?
Ooh.
Doesn't feel too right.
Eek. The way you can get past that is just call it an actor's room, right?
Right. Yeah. I do not think, and I was very, very, very young when he was president, but I do not think of cigars when I see Bill Clinton's name.
No, me either.
No? Okay. He's number 13 on the
Oh, I'm
list.
sorry. I do. I'm sorry. It's not
Okay.
for the reason that you think it should be. It's actually really terrible. We're not going to talk about it. It's not appropriate for the podcast. It's horrible. But I do now. It's
Okay.
a tongue in cheek thing, and it's not good. Anyway, let's move on. But I think he should have a sports room, a gangster room, or like a politics room,
Yeah, politics.
and then like I don't know, founding fathers room, or I don't know, something like that. That'd be dope. Gangster room, sports room, celebrity room.
That's a good idea. We should. I'll let him know that we talked about this without his permission. And
Yeah, do that.
no, but the Mission Cigar in downtown Franklin is going to look really dope. They are, I think, exhausted from all the hoops they've had to jump through.
Yeah, Williamson County.
This one's a little, this one's a little different too, because they're going to be serving liquor, so they have to have a liquor license, which I think also means he has to serve some kind of food. There has to be food options.
That's the rules.
I'm not positive about the food part, but you do have to have a lot more stuff for liquor license, obviously. And then there's like 2 things before the liquor license that he's got to get done. And I think they learn something new every day about this 100-year-old house. More than that, probably.
That's a cool idea, though.
Yeah. So we will definitely be there. This one's a lot closer for me. So, but anyways, now I guess it's time to jump inside the box.
What's inside the box?
That's my shoe in the box.
All right, let's get to Sharon here. There we go. Can you see that?
Nice.
Dave?
Yep, we got you.
All right, we've seen a second colorway, a better colorway of the Anthony Edwards 2, the AE2 from Adidas.
Do you feel like he breaks these out this week?
Feels
the
like
playoffs start.
Feels like it's building to that. It's a playoff.
I mean, and it's against the Lakers, right? Isn't that who they play?
I think so. That
Man, they'll make complete sense.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
him to bust it out this week.
Yeah.
This isn't bad. I mean, I like this colorway is better than the white one.
Yeah.
They've done a little bit more with it, and it does. Man, I'm gonna have to psalm this. It does feel like something else, though, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a bunch of the Adidas basketball sneakers. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm feeling.
Feels like a Harden. I mean, pretty similar to the AE1. I think the details on this are pretty cool.
Definitely
it's
some fun,
way better.
Vibes.
Yeah, I can see that too. This colorway, and maybe it was just that the other one was a prototype or something, but it looks a lot sleeker than the first one. The first one looked like the little triangle on the front was really raised up. It looked like all I can say is a prototype. It looked like somebody put clay on the shoe, but this one
that's what it looked like.
Looks very slim and sleek, and I think it's really good. I like that Adidas didn't force the 3 stripes on the side or something. I feel like they do that a lot. And, this looks really good with the 3 stripes just on the back. I like it. I could see. It feels like they could do a lifestyle version, like Nike's done lifestyle versions of the sneakers. You know, LeBron's had lifestyle. KD's had a lifestyle version, like based on the basketball shoe, and it would be cool to have the Adidas originals like flower logo on the back of this. If they changed it up and made it not so court performance, just that had some little tweaks on there, I think that would be a cool touch. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a
They're
good
not
second
bad.
shoe. Yeah, not bad at all.
Especially in
think
terms of the second shoes we've gotten in the recent history have not been very good. This is a good one.
Right. The AE one people loved, and this one I say that people loved to say they loved it, but I don't think a lot of people outside of on court performance purchased the shoe. But yeah, I think it's a win for Adidas, to be honest.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah, a lot better on that one than the first colorway that we got to see. So, all right, Hayes, here's your Kith. Will you buy any Kith Adidas? It is a soccer collection, so I know that probably gets you
Let's
out.
go through some of these pictures.
Okay.
I haven't seen this. This is the first I'm seeing this, I feel like.
Okay. So we've got the scarf.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you got to consider not a big soccer guy.
Yeah, this is very European.
Yeah.
Let me try to adjust this a little bit. There we go. Get the full picture in here. All right, you got 3 indoor
Man,
soccer
I don't like
shoes.
these. Yeah, whatever.
I think
Pretty
they're
bland.
yeah. I think the 3 stripes on it is cool. I don't know what this shoe is, but it seems like it's a change. Maybe it's not. Ooh.
That's dope. Oh, I like this sweater he had on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
that's cool.
this. I think this warm-up sweatshirt crew neck is really dope. Let's keep going.
This sweater on the right is really sick.
Yeah.
With the trifold, is that what they call that? Trifold?
Trefoil or something. I don't
Trifoil.
know. I just call it the flower.
I just call it the douche.
The bucket hat is very minimal. I think that's cool.
Gross.
Yeah,
What is
we got the
this?
shock, whatever the soccer shocks for Adidas are.
I mean, this looks like a shoe that you could have printed off of Printify. This is not good.
I like the colorway. The bottom colorway is cool, but that's about the only
I
thing.
can't see it.
Just the colors.
I can't see it. We couldn't see the bottom colorway. You're talking about the
it's just-
green?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
my
the
bad. There's
green.
only 2 of them. Man, that top one is. I know what we get. What they're trying to do with the age look, but it does not look good on that top one. That
Yeah, that
clashes
top one,
majorly with the white.
The white, yeah, I agree. You got more zip up. It's almost tracksuit esque.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not in the market for that at all. This is cool. It feels like UK, USA, Team UK, Team USA stuff. The pleated shorts, pleated pants. That's again European. I mean, it's a German company, so I guess that's what you get. More shoes. These look like. I mean, I feel like if you stepped out indoor soccer with those red ones, those are pretty fire.
Okay.
Now,
If you're into that kind of thing.
only if you're indoor soccer. Now, have I ever watched anybody play indoor soccer above the age of 14? No.
Me either.
So what would I know about fire indoor soccer shoes? Practically nothing.
Especially since they got that gator tongue or whatever that's called.
Yeah, that's a good question on what that's called.
Isn't it gator?
I have no idea. The only thing that I think of, and I love that they do it for they do it for a lot of red sneakers, is my dad's red adult league softball cleats from when I was like a baby, but he still kept them. Had that style tongue, and so it's I like to look at it.
Baseball cleat.
It's a baseball cleat, yeah. More Kith.
That's dope.
Collared. It's almost like a rugby shirt, but it looks like a really premium material. And then a full soccer kit, and then
a leather jumper.
Yeah. I can't. It looks like it's just a trench coat, but it could be. It looks It could be a jumper or a trench coat. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
a
didn't
trench
see that
coat.
coming with the leather. That seems
Yeah.
really random.
I know. Is that like coaches gear? What do coaches wear
Maybe
for
that's
soccer?
what that is.
I don't.
Neither of
It's
us
like-
watch soccer.
It's like a Kith and Adidas times Vince Lombardi collab right there. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, Vince
Mad
Lombardi
Vince
was
Lombardi.
big. He's a big leather guy. Trench coat. Smoking a cigar. Full circle.
Yeah, good. Full circle. Oh, here we go. Cleats. Those top cleats are dope. The bottom cleats look like regular old cleats. Oh, the fold down is really cool. It's the Kith like box checkerboard.
Mm-hmm.
You see that?
Yep. Okay.
That's probably the coolest thing about this whole collection.
And that little bra that goes underneath. Never seen that before. Holds down the whatever jock strap.
Yeah. Gator strap. A hoodie. Okay, we got something normal there.
Yeah, man, this is so European. It's too European for me. As
It's
the further we get into it, I'm like, man, I'm not English.
soccer jerseys. I'm a big jersey guy. I could do a jersey.
I'm a big jersey guy too, but soccer.
Oh, got an
Ooh,
ESPN.
DHL, great company to have on the front of a jersey.
You know what I was thinking about the other day, and it's hilarious to me that when you think of America versus Europe in terms of economics, you immediately think that America is just a hugely capital, like only money matters in our society. And then you look at like the European soccer where it's like, it's about money and they make tons of money. But from the fans' perspective, they're like, I don't care. Like, I love my team. I'm going to die with my team or whatever. And you've got some of that in the US as well. But with our society being so focused on money, it is hilarious to me that everybody freaked out when sponsorship patches appeared on the jersey.
Mhm.
When in Europe, they've had they don't even say a team name. They've just got the sponsor on the whole thing.
Chase.
Right. But that for us, that's like, oh, that is too far. Like we have a society that you can pay for anything you want, but you put a little logo on the edge of the jersey, and that is just too much. Like people freaked out when NFL practice jerseys got company sponsorships on them. That is so.
We are above that. That's what it feels like. It's
Yeah,
like we don't do advertisements on our jerseys. It's just the.
We will literally make you pay for everything in this country, but and we will pay for anything. We'll pay for 18 different subscription plans. But if one of those subscription plans has a sport with a jersey patch of a company, that's way too far. I mean,
Hey, look, our thoughts on the WNBA are well documented, but theirs is the worst. I mean, they are as close to European as that gets with all the advertisements on them. It'd be like Chase, Starbucks, a pride flag, And it's a lot.
Ironically, and I'm saying this because I applaud them. NASCAR, man, they're doing it right. Nobody ever complains about the 5,000 logos they have on their racing suits.
All right, well then I got a random question for you.
Okay.
If your body, I bet we're gonna say similar things. If your body was a NASCAR and you had to get tattoo stickers of your favorite, like who would you want to have brands tattooed on you?
Wow.
I mean, Nike, right?
Nike feels like, yeah.
Panama Slim,
Panhandle Slim.
Panhandle Slim.
Just because I just feel like the Grateful is so easy to wear, man. Like, who wouldn't want Grateful? Like, it's not, even if you don't know the brand, it's like, oh, well, he's grateful.
Yeah, I agree. You're correct.
It's a reminder, right? Like, yeah, get that on like forearm or something. That's where Grateful's going.
I mean, Goodwill. It's a brand I use all the time.
Yeah, I frequent that brand often.
I think of like food brands that I use the most
Mm.
would be like David sunflower seeds. I mean, that's probably the food I consume the most.
If your body was a NASCAR, that's like the remix to that country song, "Body Like a Back Road."
Yeah.
Body like a
Oh,
NASCAR.
you're right, NASCAR. Supreme, Kith.
Yeah,
You
see, none
know?
of those. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, I
on-
wouldn't either.
Yeah. 2 out of the 3 cars that I've owned have been Jeeps, but I don't feel like I embody the full
Big
Jeep
Jeep guy.
outdoors lifestyle.
Okay. Like a Harley guy.
Right.
Right.
I don't feel like I embody enough of the Jeep. And maybe
I
that's because I
want it.
haven't had a Wrangler yet. Maybe if I get a Wrangler, then I would put it like the lights logo, you know. something
If
like-
you had a Wrangler, would you be a duck guy?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think I would be like, if I was gonna do something, I think I'd put like super glue some bobbleheads to the front or
Okay.
something. Like, I don't know how those would stay up, but
I feel like the duck
Oh.
thing is just played out. And
yeah.
now I feel like it's bled over to like trucks have ducks and
Trucks and ducks.
right.
It's like a Childish Gambino song. Yeah, okay, that was a good question. I only got 2, so I don't know what other
I mean,
brands.
Chick-fil-A, I eat Chick-fil-A more
Mm.
than most restaurants.
I think if I'm going restaurants, stuff Waldo's is up there for one of my
Mm.
favorites. If they're getting a spot,
Well, it's right there too if they're local.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then I would Prince's.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I would maybe get Nike. I would maybe get Grateful. I'd probably get Grateful for sure. I'm probably auctioning off those last 3 spots, man.
So just get to the bag.
You're
What
right.
about what about Under Armour?
If they're paying me, yeah.
If they're
but
paying you?
I don't know if I've ever. I think in middle school I had one Under Armour shirt that I wore under my basketball jersey.
Mm.
I think that's the last time I wore Under Armour.
I was given some Under Armour shorts for Christmas one year, and I wore them for a bit. They were so thin; it was like as thin as boxers. It felt
I know.
weird.
Yeah, I've got a pair
like
of
I'm
like that,
almost
but they're like
nude
sleep
here.
shorts.
I mean, I want to feel like I've got something on. I don't want to
Right.
feel like I'm running around dangling everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good point. Would you ever get besides Jesus anybody's face tattooed on you?
I mean, my children might, maybe.
Okay.
But nobody else's face other than my kids and Jesus. It's got to be really good work if you're going to get a portrait or something. It's
Yeah.
got to be really good as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we can move on. That was a great question. I was going to tell you a faux pas, but it's not really a big deal. So you remember when I made my basketball shoes? So I started playing basketball a lot more. I did the Bayous, the first IDs that I've ever done. I'm not calling it Bayou. I'm calling it Nike ID. First IDs that I'd ever done. And the way I came up with the color scheme was Wyatt was not born yet, but he was due in July. So I took the color of July, the color of the birth color of Elliot, and the birth color of my wife. And so one shoe was Wyatt, one shoe was Elliot. Both of them had blue for September for Haley's birth month. And then Wyatt came a month early. so the colors kind of
Screwed it all up.
but I had already bought the shoes, so that is the story of my shoes. And I will just say birth colors from now on. I'll never explain it to people. They're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, well, that was a terrible decision." But
You just taught me that they're birth colors. I mean, I knew birthstones and birth flowers.
it's
but never-
aligned with with birthstones. So you're not too far off there. All right, next up. Oh, a place I went into, and we've been Instagrammed about a few times from Drippin' Bourbon. So this guy, Mike, what's Mike's last name? They were asking me at the store, and I was like, I don't know. He's just okay. But yeah, Drippin' Bourbon won two shoes. Did he? No, he won a raffle for the Jordan 4 SBs from Blue Flowers store, and then he also got the Matcha Dunks, which is a really dope pair of dunks.
Yeah, those are
mean,
solid.
I almost bought them if they would have had my size when I went in the other day. The guy was a really good salesman. He was pulling out all the stops to get me to buy some shoes. But yeah, these are the Yudo Horigami that we talked about. And Mike got them. And man, in hand, that's a beautiful shoe. And I had a Shaq moment when I talked to the guy at Blue Flowers, because it was like, I wasn't familiar with your game. I didn't know they had a Nike SB contract. They're not a resale shop. You know what? They're in the factory in Franklin.
I've only been to the store a couple times.
Yeah, I never walked in because I just thought, well, those shoes, I mean, it looks like they're a retail store. They're a skate shop. And they have a Nike SB contract. I think they have a New Balance, their skateboarding line too. Might have had some Adidas, I'm not sure. But man, they had a bunch of dope skate shoes in there. Like, I might get into dunks by going into that shop. I'll definitely go in there. Yeah, I talked to a dude named Will. He was really nice. I mean, it was a really cool store. So free shout out to Blue Flowers. Yeah, you got a big supporter in Mike over here. 2 shoes in like 2 weeks.
He lives really close to there, so that makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
He might be a Mission Cigar frequenter then.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Hayes, you sent these in.
Yeah, just look how stupid they are. I mean, this is just for fun.
We've got we're looking
and I love Clark's
collab.
Big Clark's guy, but I mean, these are horrible.
Hayes is a big Clark's guy. This is a Clark's times. How do you say that? Clark's times? What? How do you say a collab?
Yeah, I think that's what that is. Times.
Clark's by Noah Soleil, by Arctic Monkeys, by Palace times Palace. Yeah,
I don't know who half these people are. Who's Arctic Monkeys? Who's Noah Soleil? Couldn't tell you. But I knew these were ugly as heck.
Go ahead.
Can we agree that? I mean, for obvious reasons, the letter P, like, you have gone through.
Keep going to what you were gonna say.
I am. Listen. I know you hate the New Balance in, and I've got some news for you next week. I'll just unbox what I got. I sent a picture to you, but
yeah, do you have them yet?
Sneakers, not yet.
Okay,
they've been on my list, and I decided, you know what, I'm doing it. Oh, so we know that you hate ends, but can we be real? Like, the letter P is one of the worst letters to decide to brand anything with.
I do agree.
For multiple different reasons. So when you see a big P on this, just run. Just don't do anything. The shoe is also telling you what you should do with it, and that is just burn it. Burn the P.
Burn the P.
This is horrible.
If you
go through some of these other colorways since we're doing it.
Well, hey, if you have burning P, you need to go to a doctor.
Yeah, that's true.
Some other colorways. So yeah, we're looking at the red ones right now. None of them are good. They're all.
It's like a clog mixed with a wallaby.
Yeah,
and
so you got a black and
with the guys. Listen, if you're not on the YouTube at this point, shame on you. But it's just got a giant P on the tongue,
and it's like the font of.
Listen to that. It's got a giant P on the tongue.
This font. Tell me if you if you had this experience when you were growing up. So when I was growing up, nobody paid for well, the Little League baseball team was not Little League. It wasn't associated with MLB. So you had like MLB team names, but it was like no logos, right? It was like the Reds in some font with the curvy underline underneath it. And our hats just had a big old R on it. Did you ever have a league like that? So it wasn't like the Cincinnati Reds C or anything. It was just a big old R. This is the same exact font that was on my Little League.
Times New
I think,
Roman.
yeah, right.
It's the laziest font selection as well. This is not
Yeah.
good.
Okay, I'm gonna look up. Oh wow, we got green with some red flames, yellow writing on it, or gold writing. I don't know. And then we're back to the red. Oh, two different reds. Is that a maroon or a brown? I can't tell what these colors are, man. A bright red. Ooh, a light blue. That one might be the worst.
That might be the worst.
More red. Are these different? Like, what is going on?
I can't tell you.
They look different. Oh, another green with what is this? Olive branches? What are these?
That looks like olive branches. It does look
Okay.
like maybe it's an ode to Greece.
Oh, to Greece on the green ones. Oh, with more olive branches. Okay, can somebody look up who Noah Saleh is? Because ChatGPT does not have any idea.
Hey, I just sent you a chat real quick. You should read, and I'm on it. I'll do it real quick. Noah Saleh. He's a Malaysian. I mean, he looks Malaysian. He's a songwriter, musician, producer. So that would make sense with Palace. But I bet you he's with the. Isn't the Arctic Monkeys a band?
The Arctic Monkeys is a British rock band formed in 2002.
Makes sense.
He is not in the Arctic Monkeys, but I'm sure he maybe writes songs for them. Yeah, that's all I've got. So
Did you see my
very
chat?
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's wrap this up. I don't think we have anything left. Yeah. I do have one more for you.
Good.
Is this the most dope golf shoe you have ever seen?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, pick any Jordan. That's gonna be the dopest golf
don't
shoe I've
think
ever
so.
seen. These look like a FootJoy. This looks like an old man shoe, Mason.
This
You're too
is
old.
dope.
You are too young.
And this
to
is
think
Justin
stuff.
Timberlake's shoe.
Yeah.
Okay.
This looks like a FootJoy.
No.
Yeah, it does.
The monochromatic.
Go to these other
khaki with-
pictures. Go through these some
This
of
is
those
a
pictures.
desert or-esque colorway here.
Yeah, but well, go back. Is that a go? Oh, now that detail is really sick.
That
The
is
coaster.
dope. Yes. This shoe, now the price is not dope. It's 1,981 pairs. They're dropping. They
$500.
dropped today for $500. 1981 was the year that Justin Timberlake was born, so it is a very, very limited shoe. It's called the Victory Tour 4 Raggio de Soleil.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Cool details. I don't like the shoe near as you.
A ray of the sun is what it means. But yeah, I think these shoes are freaking dope. I would golf more if I had these. But anyway, that's the last one.
Some shoes.
Do I?
Go back and let me just make. I feel like there was one more we should have looked at real quick. Go back to the screen.
Oh, hold on. We'll save this one for next time. Was this a King's Day Air Max 1 or the A6?
Yeah, let's save them.
All right. We'll save them for next time. Well, let's see. Let's wrap this for episode
I've got some I'm going to read real
215.
quick.
Okay.
Go look at this other message I just got.
That's so crazy. What?
Isn't that crazy? Man, you guys, maybe next week I can tell you what just happened while we're cutting it short. And but I'm sorry we're cutting it short. Here's what I want to do. It's Good Friday, and so I'm going to read something, and I hope this blesses you. And if you are or do not have a relationship with God Almighty, the Creator of the world, I hope you make the decision to go worship Sunday. Because regardless, He loves you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So I'm going to read this. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, Creator of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, His only Son, our Lord, who was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried. He descended into hell. On the third day, He rose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of the Father, God the Father Almighty. From there, He will come to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, believe in the church, the communion of the saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the body, and the life everlasting. Amen. And that's called the Apostles' Creed. And it's been around for 1,000 years. And if you've made it this far on this podcast, thank you for listening. And be on the lookout for the Lord to interact with you in your life, because He really, really, really loves you.
Amen.
My wife's grandmother just passed away just now. And that's why we're cutting it short, because I need to come inside and be with my family.
Oh.
So that is why we're abruptly ending.
Yep. Hey, love you.
Love
me
you.
know what you guys need.
I will. And
Peace. We'll see you guys next week.
send my wife a text and tell her you love her.
We'll do.
I love you. I love you,
Love you.
Mason Lee. I mean it. I
Love
love
you
you
too,
so
Ace.
much. You're one of my favorite people in history. Okay?
That means a lot. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll see y'all next
love you.
week. Peace.
See you guys. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.